Well, moving on from Bill Belichick and the Patriots, we move on to the NFC South, and where Tom Brady found his new home with the Buccaneers, as well as the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers. This one is a pretty interesting division, to say the least. Carolina's having their whole rebuild where they're basically bringing college to the NFL with Matt Rule and Joe Brady running things over there. I don't think they're going to be too good this year. Atlanta looking like Dan Quinn's last year there. The Bucks, question marks, Gronk coming out of retirement, a lot of weapons, a lot of potential, but can they make that potential reality? And the Saints, they have all the pieces. They got stronger, actually, but just can they get over that hump? And their question is, can they make it to the NFC Championship game and potentially Super Bowl? You want to talk about that real quick, and then I can get into mine after?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Saints at that one, winning it, because like you said, they got stronger, and I'm pretty sure you'll list that reason. And just not many departures from last year. They're still a strong team. Just they always have trouble in the playoffs. Just when it comes down to it, they just had heartbreaking finishes year after year. And I think that the Superdome it's going to be interesting because if there's no fans this year, one of New Orleans' greatest strengths is home field, and the Superdome is arguably one of, if not the loudest, place to play in the NFL. So we'll see how that dynamic affects them at home. But I still think from top to bottom, just too solid of a team not to win that division. 2, I'm gonna put the Bucks. A lot of firepower. Will they make the playoffs? That's a excellent question. I'll go into that maybe just a little bit later. But we have New Orleans at the 1, Bucks at the 2, Falcons at the 3. They still got a solid offense, but that team is just, holes all around. And then 4, I'll put the Panthers. McCaffrey, I think, is going to have another great year, but he's going to be pretty much all that they have to offer this season.
Yeah, you're right there. Outside of McCaffrey, it's going to be just how does Teddy Bridgewater look in the NFL again? Hopefully he can move on, and that freak injury early in his career didn't kind of spell the end of good things to come. But outside of those two, Luke Kuechly retired. There's not much to look forward to other than the first round of next year. With the Falcons, Dan Quinn, he's out of there for me. You still have Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, so you're still going to win some games. But with that, their defense is just all right, and their offense is solid, and that's not going to win you too many. That's not going to make the playoffs in the NFL to me. So I got them third. I have the Buccaneers second place. I don't think they're going to win the division, but I think they're going to do good enough. I mean, how can they not? They have Tom Brady, who's showing no signs of declining too much. You got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronkowski. Then on defense, you got Devin White, Levante David at later linebacker core. Solid corners, pretty good offensive line. Shaq Barrett hopefully can repeat the season he had last year and make some more money for himself. But they're really surprising. Not surprising team, but if they went – I think they went 7-9 with Jameis last year and him leading the NFL with 30 interceptions. With Tom Brady, that has to win that has to add on a few more games. I think it's like the same thing with the Steelers. Changing the quarterback back to Ben for the Steelers and then to Tom Brady for the Buccaneers, I think that's going to – if they did that good with that bad of quarterback play last year, they have to do better this year. And I think Tom Brady takes them over that hump where they can get back into the playoffs. And then again, Saints, the offseason move I was talking about was Emmanuel Sanders. Pair him up with Mike Thomas, and you still hopefully have Alvin Kamara out the backfield. You're just running over everybody all day. I believe Jared Cook's still there. Their offense is potent. Their offensive line is probably one of the least talked about things on their team. That's one of the best in the league. Defense, still got Demario Davis. You got Marshawn Lattimore over there. They just need to get over that hump. That's their thing every single year is will Drew Brees win another Super Bowl ring? Every single year, that's what we're going to talk about. I don't know if he can get over the hump this year. I think it's too little too late, and his career is going to be over in a year or two.
Yeah, and going off earlier, I do think that Tampa will nag a wild card spot because it's already hard to bet against Brady. And I know that, last year he kind of wasn't the same, but he also, a lack of weapons was why his stats weren't, as great as
What do you
years
mean?
past.
But they had Philip Dorsett.
Philip Dorsett, I don't know. Yeah, it
Rex
was rough
Burkhead?
there
Come
a little
on.
bit. But, it's hard to, it's like I said, it's pretty hard to bet against Brady, and especially when you give him the weapons that he's going to have here. Who knows? They potentially signed Fournette. Tampa's offense is too good for them to not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I got them making the playoffs too. I'm not betting against Tom Brady with this many weapons on his team. Gronk with a year off, maybe it can look like 2017 Gronk and be a little more mobile. Because I think you can agree in his last year he was looking like he was just dragging his body across the whole field. He didn't look like he was actually moving out there. But if he can get back to that form, that's dangerous.